Hey, it's Steve. So I'm going to talk about the brain a little bit today and how it is actually kind of like a smoke detector and why that's not a good thing. So I'm sure you've had the experience of being in your house and having the smoke detector go off kind of randomly or maybe unexpectedly. And usually you discover that it's, some toast you left in the toaster too long or something like that, right? No big deal. But the smoke detector, it's very important, right? It's got this really critical job of, is there smoke and fire somewhere? But it is not really nuanced in its response, right? It has one action that it can take. Blare really, really loudly at you, get your attention. And that's fine for its job, but it's really limited. And actually, we've got a part of our brains that works very similarly. Its job is really to detect threats. And it, like a smoke detector, errs on the side of caution. It doesn't have any nuance. It doesn't know necessarily whether it's, just relatively harmless smoke or real fire. And so it will, much like the smoke detector, just go off in this blaring sort of way. And if we're not careful, in fact, it can literally hijack the rest of our brain. Like neuroscientists will call it an amygdala hijacking. So here's the thing though. Like when your smoke detector goes off, what's the first thing you do? Is it to immediately dial 911? No. You check, see what's going on, figure out where the smoke is, discover, forgot about that toast, or someone changed the setting on the toaster. You get it out, taken care of, shut off the smoke detector, and you're good to go once you open the windows and fan everything out. Yeah, and now if there was a real fire, of course you'd call 911, but you take a minute to check. And see, that's the thing. If we're not careful, we don't act that way. We just call 911 immediately. And the way that happens for us is generally one of two things. We will either go after the perceived threat or we'll run away from the perceived threat. And it's the latter that I really want to talk about, because that's often what happens with things that we are afraid of, that are uncomfortable, that are scary, that feel threatening to us, like almost anything involving vulnerability. Okay? And a lot of work items in business involve more vulnerability than you might think. And that's the place where we can get stalled. The brain goes, oh wait, this is going to be bad. People are going to judge it. They're going to reject it. No, we can't go here. And it just kind of takes over. But what we have to do is we have to bring a little more nuance to it, right? We have to engage with our brain the same way we would with a smoke detector. We have to say, well, let's take a look here. Is this a real fire? Or is it just, some smoke that we need to deal with? Do we need to call 911 or not? Because a lot of the time we don't. The actual threat, what's the worst that can happen, is very little. So what you can do is really just take a minute when you find that anxiety, that distress rising up in you, to stop, take a deep breath, take a look around, try and assess the smoke and what it actually is. And you can ask yourself, what is the actual threat here? What's the worst that can happen? And if you do that, I think it'll help you to be able to recognize that things aren't as big and scary as they seem a lot of the time. And that opens the door for you to be able to keep moving forward and taking action. So let me know your thoughts. Hope you're doing well. That's it for now. And keep moving forward. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.